Afternoon, Liz. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. We're on top of, we're overlooking the main part of our San Lorenzo vineyard. We've taken out a 25-year-old vineyard, hillside vineyard, and prepping it for planting next summer. So very excited about it. It's south-facing Alexander Valley, and Fitch Mountain is behind me on the horizon, and that is part. Fitch was, Captain Fitch purchased this property from General Vallejo back in the mid-1800s, and then our family purchased it from Fitch in 1896. So very, very much a historic area in Sonoma County. And what's neat about this property is that it's actually dual appellation. It's both Russian River and Alexander Valley, and so some neat overlap, but just a very special place. That's a D7 below me, ripping down about 3 feet into the soil, and we're ripping both ways. We've added soil amendments, compost, lime to help with the soil pH, and we're adding a lot more additional drainage. There's, in fact, if you can see, Liz, see down in the middle, you can see the set of drains. But with climate changing and heavier storms, we're going to be adding 2 more sets of drains, one on the right and one on the left. We're just concerned about the amount of water that we see in storms today. Early last year and the year before, I remember 2 storms where we had 8 inches in like 4 hours. And what we're used to as farmers, traditional drainage just can't keep up. So I think a lot of us are starting to look at adding more. I know that's what I'm doing here at San Lorenzo. So I think one of the neat things also about this property is it's where my mom grew up. You can see down the homes down in the central part of the valley floor. That's where my mom, Rachel Ann, grew up. And this was her part of the ranch. My grandfather, Emil Pasalacqua, had 4 kids. Mom got this share. And since San Lorenzo is where the Pasalacqua, my mother's side of the family, is from, we called this ranch San Lorenzo. So this is where we make our Pearl, which is a red field blend. And we also make our Rock Garden as well. And it can be windy on occasion.
Yeah, well, that's actually pretty good. The wind is not distracting. It can be that windy. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the Journeyman?
About the what?
The Journeyman Wines.
Yeah, so the Journeyman Wines are really a wonderful expression of Burgundian Chardonnay, style Chardonnay, and Pinot. Definitely more, the Chardonnay is a very French style. It's probably one of the highest acid styles of Chardonnay out. And I source for higher acidity sites. We use Zeotoni, we use Ritchie as the 2 main sites for the Journeyman Chardonnay. Pinot is old vine Pinot from Russian River Valley from the Dutton property. It's 30-year-old vine Pinot, clone 777. I like a lot of solids. I like a lot of thickness. Both of the wines are unfined and unfiltered, and so there's a natural thickness because of that. They're also long, slow fermentations and long, slow aging with a decent amount of new wood. The Chardonnay is about 45% concrete egg, so that gives you a wonderful thickness without too much oak. So it's definitely balanced.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say sets you apart in your 2 projects from other people out there? So why should people care about San Lorenzo and Journeyman Wines?
Can you repeat that one more time?
What do you think sets you apart from other projects out there, and what, like, as in, why should people care about San Lorenzo and Journeyman?
I think the biggest thing on Journeyman Chardonnay is the vibrancy that the style has, and that it is 45% concrete egg, probably moving towards 50% concrete egg with this next blend. So it has a vibrancy and a minerality that I just have not seen in other Chardonnays on the market. By using brand new French oak, and we're moving towards 50% brand new French oak and 50% concrete egg. And then next weekend or the weekend after that, depending on the timing of this next harvest, we will be going into stainless tank, and it will sit, the Chardonnay will sit in tank all the way until December. And you capture a wonderful flintiness when you leave it in concrete that, or in stainless that long. And also you don't have to filter by letting it stay in the stainless. It's a tall, narrow stainless tank, but letting it stay in the tank that long, it settles naturally. So you don't have to filter. So you're left with much more texture. But being in tank that long, you do notice a little bit of reduction. And it's a great trick that some of the great producers will do if they have the tank space and if they have the time. And so it's really, we built our program to be long and slow, and it gives you a whole nother layer of complexity by doing it that way.
Yeah, I would challenge any non-Chardonnay lover to try that Chardonnay, or any industry snob like myself who doesn't necessarily drink.
You're not a snob.
I'm just saying.
But the Pinot is, and the Pinot, I don't want to take anything away from the Pinot. The Pinot is impeccable fruit, and we do a long 5 to 7 day cold soak, and then warm up the tank and begin a traditional punch down fermentation after that. It's 1/3 new wood, 1/3 1-year-old, and 1/3 2-year-old wood, and it's native yeast. We will add a little bit of yeast if needed to help finish it at the end, but it's a long, slow process, all native ML, and the Pinot will go into tank and be held. It will get bottled before the Chardonnay. So, but the Chardonnay is a longer process because the tank aging does add a flintiness and helps enhance that minerality. Where on Pinot, for me, it's more about preserving the fruit. So,
what would you say
a little bit differently
you were doing before in your previous life in wine? Totally ended in a totally different size, different scale from what you're doing now. And what has been the most surprising thing with this new way you're making wine? Or maybe it's not a new way, but what is the most surprising thing that you can think of that from this new project?
Oh, it's an incredible quality step up. That is the thing. I was, as the lead grape grower for Seghesio, I was dealing with and tracking 120, 130 lots. And so that's a lot to cover. And now in my life now, I'm tracking basically six lots. So it gives me a lot more time to do a better job, keeping the vines in balance, meticulous thinning that we do here, and then picking at night, which in my previous life we didn't have the luxury to do. We would have to pick night and day, but here with these lots we're able to pick in the dead of night, so they're very cold, so everything gets a cold soak, and so the extractions are longer and better because of the cold soak. And my own style is a slightly riper style, and 100% French oak, all Francois Frere. That's all we use on our reds and with our Chardonnay program. And it's a softer, juicier, more flavorful wood that I just like the style that it provides. So I want by farming it correctly, we get incredible intensity, but by longer fermentations and using a different wood program, I think we're just able to make incredibly smooth, ripe tannin wines. And it's just the style that we like.
Mm-hmm. And what got you into the meat business?
Liz, we sold the family business. It was an incredible family, but it was time for us to pass it off into new hands. But I was 48 at the time, and my poor wife, God bless her, she wanted to go to the beach. I wanted to. At 48, I felt like I had one more thing in me, and I wanted to try my hand at it. My dad had taught me how to make salami, and one of my dad's wishes for me was to learn how to make prosciutto. And so I went and worked with the Marini family, which is one of Italy's top cured meat producers out of Florence. And so went back 5 Februaries in a row when it's quiet here to learn how they do it. And basically that's a methodology that we follow at Journeyman is to do it the true Italian way, lower fermentation temperatures, so it makes for a longer aging product. And that is what is really, it's a lot of commonality, a lot of common themes between making salami or cured meats and making wine. You're dealing with bacteria, you're dealing with the type of fermentation. A fast fermentation makes for boring wines. A slow fermentation makes for wonderful, more complex wines. And it's the same with salami. Most of America will ferment at 100 degrees or 90 degrees. We ferment in the low 70s. And so it's a dramatically much longer process, but you get much more nuttiness, more butteriness, more richness, more incredible spectrum of flavors when you go slow. Obviously, it's just like the wine. It has to have the highest quality ingredients, but it's been more challenging than wine. And it's been more challenging than wine. We thought we could be where we wanted to be 3 years ago. We're just getting there now. So it's not for the faint of heart, but it is an amazing process. When you being Italian, if you go into an aging room, it just it's like kissing a girl for the first time. If you're Italian, you go into that aging room and it's something in your roots that comes out, and you get a smile on your face no matter what.
Both things, I'm impressed by both things, because both things, I don't know how you do something that you can't foresee the result so clearly. You just have to be patient and hope that it all works out. Both of those projects, it's amazing. So switching gears to a tiny bit, from reflecting on what's been going on right now and all of our shelter in place, it's different for everyone, I know, but is there anything that has surprised you from the experience in a positive way?
I think the shelter in place has been a wonderful pause on our children going away, and it's forced game nights, which I didn't see coming back. It's helped movie nights, game nights, and just deeper discussions with our kids. And one of the nice things for us also was the ability to get back to the river. As a teenager and young college kid, we would go to the river a lot, and down where the highest trees are, that's actually the Russian River in far all the way down the hill. But where the highest trees are, we actually did a little clearing and put in a campground. So that's where our boys have gone this summer a bit, and we've been down there a lot, and that's something we've never had on our property. So shelter in place gave us the push we needed to find a little river spot, and so that's been a wonderful addition to the property and to the family. So
you have any other do you have any hobbies outside of meat and wine that have helped you cope with everything?
No, I've been injured. I had a broken pelvis from skiing in January, and then I got run over by one of our cattle. So I've got a broken foot right now, and so I've been on crutches every month except May. So it's been
That's like an amplifier. That's
yeah. It's not been a great year so far, but no, just enjoying wine every night. Cooking a lot more at home, teaching our kids how to cook better, and no, it's actually been okay. So our heart goes out to everyone that is on the front lines and dealing with this. We're in a rural community. I know it's here, but we haven't had the stress that our city neighbors have endured yet. So our heart goes out to them.
Any music in particular that you listen to during this time? I always find there's like sometimes during times in life, unique or challenging, you'll have like a soundtrack that, kind of is a through line. Has that been your experience?
Not so much. Probably, I'm a Van Halen junkie. So Van Halen, Journey, Eddie Money, those are the go-to ones when I need to be lifted up, but that's showing my age. So I think that's all I can say on that.
And do you have of course, the most critical question in some strange circles, but what's your drink? What is Peter Seghesio's, like, go to a bar, desert island drink?
Oh man. The darn Chardonnay right now is amazing. And if it's got to be nothing that I make, then my drink is Angel's Envy on the rocks. It's just bourbon on the rocks, and that's aged in port barrels, and it is just so smooth and such a wonderful. It's so soothing on the stomach. I just love it. So
I like that answer. Okay, well that is myself for a second. Thank you, Peter. We really appreciate the time. And,
all right.
Hope you get out of that foot fast.
Yeah, sorry it's so windy.
Out.
Thanks for joining.